In the Bible, when God talks about Adam and Eve, He does not only talk about Adam and Eve as two persons, but He also symbolically refers to Adam and Eve as the spiritual principle that governs the universe. When God took the rib out of Adam and created Eve, He symbolically took out the rib of the letter A and reversed its order. Therefore, we got the letter V as the consonant of Eve. Then, if we join the letter A and V together, we will get the symbol of the hexagram, which is the symbol of creation and procreation in the universe. My friend, the hexagram is not a devil symbol, but it is a symbol of harmony between the feminine and masculine principle of nature. When I'm talking about principle, what I mean is the underlying law that governs the universe, not the sexes. In other words, everything in this world is dual in nature. Inside a man, there is a feminine aspect of him, and inside a woman, there is a masculine aspect of her. This duality in nature has been coded in the doctrine of yin and yang in the Chinese philosophy. As you can see here, inside yin we have yang, inside yang we have yin. One is inseparable from the other. The principle is also encoded in many Asian arts, depicting a single human being with two heads. One head is male and the other is female, indicating the duality nature within every one of us. We have the sun as the masculine principle, which gives out light, while the moon is feminine in nature because she received the light from the sun. Similarly, Adam is masculine and Eve is feminine. Gold is yang and silver is yin. Because the masculine always attracts the feminine, what we call harmony is essentially the balance between the two opposites, between yin and yang, between male and female, between the masculine and feminine principle of the universe. Before God took the rib out of Adam, He put Adam into a deep sleep. This is not a coincidence, my friend, because Adam is the symbol of atom, which is the substance that exists in everything from trees to rocks to plants and to animals. Here comes the second secret, that even though this world is created from the duality principle, we are all essentially one, because we are created from the same atom, who is the father of all things, or the first human being. We are a small copy of the universe, and the universe is a larger copy from within ourselves. As we have learned in the law of physics, when the atom moves fastly, the atom manifests itself in the form of gas, which is invisible to our human eyes. When the atom moves a bit slower, it manifests itself in the form of liquid. Therefore, when God casts a deep sleep upon Adam, He even slower and slower the motion of the atom, which eventually results in the form of solid, symbolizing the physical world that we are now living in. Now, let's talk about Eve, because she really did not come out from Adam. As you can see in our nature, it is always a man coming out of a woman, and never a woman coming out of a man. This is why we have the word woman, which means womb man, or the womb of man. As I already told you, the scripture is symbolical, not literal. So in order to understand the Bible, the Quran, or any religious scripture, we need to understand them in terms of symbols and the hidden meanings, instead of merely the appearance of text. God is the one who creates His creation and repeats it. He did not, however, create the world in one way, then later He changed His mind and created the world in another way. Thus, we always have a man coming out of a woman. We always have plants, animals, and human beings coming out of Mother Earth, not Father Earth. This is the reason why in esoteric school, Eve is regarded as the mother of all living things. Pay attention here, my friend, because the mother of all living things also include the horses, dogs, fishes, trees, plants, etc. So right off the bat, we must understand that Eve is not merely a person, but she is the feminine principle who nurtures all of her children from within herself, including humans, animals, and plants. There is a secret science that can help us to understand even more deeply about the hidden meaning of Adam and Eve, which is the science of numerology. Numerology is the science that attaches each letter in the alphabet with a specific number. Therefore, when we want to understand the meaning of a certain word, we add up all the numbers together and analyze the meaning of the sum of this number. Let me give you an example. In the Asian esoteric school, Eve is also known as Eva, with the letter A at the end instead of letter E. So, when we use the numerology chart to calculate the total of Adam and Eva, they both total 10. In numerology, number 1 indicates the primal force or the individual self that is inherent in every one of us. The 0 represents God, who is absolute, eternal, and has no quality attributed to Him. That is, God is the one who is nothing but exists in everything, who creates but is not created, who produces qualities but has no quality Himself. Putting 1 and 0 together, we have the individual self, or our soul, backing itself up with the power of God. So we got the union between man and God, between the divine and the mortal, which is the symbol of perfection in numerology. According to Pythagoras, number 10 is the number that can explain the nature of God as well as the nature of the universe. It is also the number of completeness, because every number is simply the addition of number 1, and the 0 produces all other numbers from nothing and contains all other numbers from within itself. This secret is encoded in one of his most famous symbols, called Thyself, in which, if we add all the points within the triangle together, we get the result of number 10, representing the perfection of God in all. In numerology, the consonant of the word is as important as the total sum of the word. For example, the consonant of the word Eve is V, whose numerical value is 22. In numerology, number 2 represents the mother or the mother that produces form in the universe. So number 22, which is the double energy of number 2, symbolizes the master builder of the physical world. Therefore, from the metaphysic point of view, Eve is the feminine mother who is the master at building everything in the material world. Now, we understand that Adam and Eve are not merely two physical persons, but they also represent the hidden law that creates the universe. The universe is created by law, my friend, which is the eternal law that does not change whether we believe it or not. For example, it doesn't matter if you believe in the law of karma or not, you will reap what you sow, because for every cause there will always be an effect. For every seed that we sow, it will always grow up to be a tree. We may come to know this law in different terms, such as the law of action and reaction in physics, but basically, they are all the same law, coming from the same source. This is because there is only one law in this universe, which is the law of God. God is the law, telling us that we are here on this planet for a reason, that we were born on this earth for a particular meaning. Therefore, the true meaning of life is the path of knowing who you truly are and being who you truly are. This is why the wise people always follow the axiom, know thyself, because when you know thyself, you shall know the universe, and eventually you shall know who God is. In different religions, you may see that people worship different gods, but when you dive deeply into the secret meanings of the scripture, there is only one God, my friend, who is incomprehensible to human beings in our lower state, who is the absolute, the eternal, who is above all things. So if you want to understand who God is, if you want to know who we are, and if you want to know the truth about our existence, we need to raise our awareness and be willing to educate ourselves. Knowledge is power, because knowledge helps us to know, to understand the power of a human being, and to live our life with our fullest potential. Our soul already knew who we are, but we are just like Adam, who is in a deep sleep and needs to be awakened. Therefore, know thyself, my friend, because that is the only way for us to ascend to the real heaven, which is the heaven from within ourselves. We literally do not need to die to go to heaven, but we can get access to the heaven right now while we are still living on this earth. This YouTube channel is about the truth, about understanding who we are, and about learning of the nature of things. Seek the truth, my friend, because only and only the truth will set you free.